The cloud engulfing our present-day Yokozuna grew darker and thicker on Friday as Hakuho's coach Miyagino was forced to retract a comment on his own wrestler. I'll admit I was initially surprised when I read Miyagino's Thursday quote that, like Kakuryu, Hakuho would put it all on the line in January. Did this mean the great man would retire if January ended in failure, as it has done for each of the past 3 years? Evidently, that was not the line Coach should have taken. For 24 hours later, he asked journalists to print a retraction, saying, "Just to be clear, Hakuho doesn't have to put it on the line." And he even sounded under duress. "What I said was not my real feeling, and was actually quite careless. I'm reflecting deeply on how careless I've been," he added. In which case, I have to ask, who is running Miyagino stable? The master insists it was his decision to make Hakuho sit November out, but it really doesn't look that way. And it's almost unheard of for a coach not to have the right to free speech when addressing his own wrestler. Do Hakuho and those around him now have the power to write their own narrative? Or did sumo chairman Hakkaku, a staunch Hakuho ally, step in to protect his prize business asset? Either way, for the fans, it's disappointing. While we understand the will of sumo chiefs to reward one of their sport's heroes by helping him complete his romantic narrative, much as they did with the crippled Kitano Umi in 1985, something I'm sure Hakuho frequently points out, we'd at least like to believe that everything is on the line for him, that he makes it through to next summer's Olympics by heroically escaping the jaws of retirement time and again. But the message we're getting now is that, whatever happens, Hakuho's going to next summer's Olympics as a Yokozuna, regardless of how many fights he misses or how bad his condition becomes. And if even his coach, the man who knows him best, tries to question that, he'll be told, actually, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he should just shut up. All rather unsavory. We have now at least had a comment from Hakuho himself. "I apologize deeply for my November withdrawal," it began. "I will continue to make every effort to get back on that dohyo at full fitness." We assume that means January. Coach Miyagino adds that although Hakuho performed well at the specially arranged practice in mid-October, his movement is still not 100%, and that his left leg and both knees end up heavily swollen after training these days. That, plus zero opportunity to retest his condition at other stables just prior to the tournament, a routine he can scarce do without, convinced him that competing was not an option. It's the first time in his 2 decades as a professional that Hakuho has withdrawn from 3 tournaments straight. The first time in the modern era that every Yokozuna on the chart, in this case 2, has been entirely absent twice in a row. We live in unusual times, I know, but they've been made yet more unusual by sumo's obsession with the Tokyo Olympics, and its notion that everything within its ranks, as much as possible, must stay the same until those games take place. I'll still go to the tournaments, still bang the drum, but I'm not sure the fans are getting the best possible deal here.